Na. What is that song? That song is very hard.
Yes.
Yeah. That's it.
So we are starting with yesterday's game. Or
Whichever you want.
Yes,
Take your pick.
Yes.
I'll go with yesterday's game first because it's the one that is
backwards.
more recent. Yes,
Okay,
and it's the one that made me more angrier. So yesterday, I guess that was the worst performance that Manchester United have had this season.
Was it?
It was the worst performance you've given up. I get the story about Manchester United not being able to travel on time. I was doubting whether there were Manchester United players on that pitch yesterday. Newcastle United started so well, and they gave us no chance, really. Manchester United didn't show up. They literally didn't show up for that game, and the final result 1-0 was somehow flattering to deceive when you look at
it. It is the most one-sided 1-0 we've seen in a long time.
Yes, it was. With the number of chances that they created, they kept on bombarding us with stats every time and again. Halftime, 14 shots against 1. All outfield players, 56 minutes, they have had all touches on the box. While Manchester United have only one guy that has touched the ball on that side. And that's how bad it was. It was only a matter of time before they scored. And you think when they're going at halftime, I was kind of, okay, Man United, okay, we have done well, it's 0-0. Let's now change in the second half, and they do nothing. And Newcastle United come again so strong, and they score that goal. So from that performance, I of course drew the conclusions that maybe now Ten Hag's time is running out because... Yes.
Hold press, everyone.
Hey.
Sammy.
He's on record.
Yes.
Why? Yes. What has made you change? Because of that bad performance yesterday?
Yes.
But they traveled by coach. They didn't get there on time.
I know. What about their opponent on the day doesn't have 10 outfield players? They're all injured. And they have to rely on Louis Miley in midfield.
Yeah, but United have Kobe Maino in midfield. It's 18 years versus 17. Same.
We do, but look at the guys who are out for Newcastle United. They are dependable players. And for Manchester United, they've got guys who are paid so well. Marcus Rashford, guys that you expect them to be high above the rest.
Chep.
And they don't show up.
Chep,
Yes.
Sammy is given up on Ten Hag. This is breaking news.
No.
Hold press.
Listen, I'm saying that the time is running out.
Yeah.
I've not yet given up on him. Things need to change in the next... We are playing Bayern Munich. That stretch we are playing Bayern Munich and Liverpool. That could be the stretch that...
Bayern Munich is a dead rubber game. Doesn't really matter much because you are not going
for
to
us it does. For us it does. You never know what is going to happen in the Galatasaray Copenhagen game. We are praying
Sammy,
for a draw.
it's the hope that
We
kills.
are praying for a draw. No, that's football. It's going to happen.
It is the hope that kills.
Is there a chance? Is there a chance that Man United make it through?
0.
There is.
Mathematically, yes, but they are not
You
going
have to be-
United are the great entertainers of the Champions League. 4-3, 4-3, 3-3. Great, fantastic, but that's all. Itaishia hapo.
Okay.
What e-hope is
But now it's gonna if it doesn't happen,
what you gonna do?
it's going to be official that Man United have been are out of the Champions
We know
League.
they are. We know it.
We don't know.
They literally,
we don't know.
They are
They're on
like,
the brink. They're on the brink, and they don't have their chances on the hand.
like Chris Broussard says. You know, he says 10 toes in.
Yes.
United and 1 toe in. 9 out.
9 out.
Yes, but it's going to be
And
made.
it's out.
It's going to be made official then. Then if you lose to Liverpool, you start now asking the questions. It's not only because of the health that Newcastle United were better than us. We are playing pragmatic football, of which is completely different from Erik Ten Hag, what he promised us. But we completely made nothing of it. We had counter-attacks yesterday, but it's Rashford gives away the ball.
Chep,
There was clearly no plan from
Chep,
yesterday.
let's talk about that.
Anyway,
Please
there's
help
this-
out Sammy. You
yeah,
know,
there's
I don't
so
like it
much.
when Sammy is defeated. You know, Sammy
You know-
normally he's the last bastion of Mason Mount will make it. Anthony is
He's
great.
the one who gives fights.
Now he's here saying
There's
everything
hope.
is gone. Please help him out.
There's so much going on at United. I don't know where to begin. But from yesterday's game, as you said, it was the one of those games that only one team dominated the whole game. Manchester United were overrun everywhere in the midfield, and we said St. James's Park is one of the most difficult places to go this season. And when you let that crowd and the players and that pace and quickness get to you, they couldn't cope. United couldn't cope. My worry is that United at the moment are depending on young players, the 17-year-old and the the Garnacho and Maino to deliver for them. But you have players that who are sort of on their peak. I don't know what happened to Rashford. Rashford yesterday looked one of the most uninterested footballers.
You know
in
where
that pitch.
you'd find him? When Livramento is running up, you'd find him yards away from him
Vibes
and
are
walking.
inshallah.
He was exactly. He was walking. He looked so uninterested. There's so much going on at United. I don't know. And again, your goalkeeper, as Wokabi said, he there was improvement, but now we are going 2 steps, 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards.
Actually,
again.
it's 5 steps forward. 2 steps forward, 5 steps backwards. Because oddly enough, Maguire was the actually decent player in that game yesterday.
He was their best player.
Please say that again. Please say that again.
Maguire was the most decent player in that field.
Sammy, have you heard?
He was their best
him
player.
and Luke Shaw, definitely.
Yeah.
Sammy, have you heard?
Harry Maguire?
Yes, Harry
Who's the guy?
the man you call the fridge. Is it called the fridge?
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
his nickname? Please.
Scrappy
Yes. And
table.
you guys decided he's not going to play. United were not great yesterday. And yesterday I agree with you. A lot of it was how they lined up. I don't quite understand why you have Dalot at left back and Lindelof on the bench. I don't get it. Honestly, square pegs in square holes. Please put Luke Shaw at left back.
Yes.
Please put Wan-Bissaka at right back.
Yeah.
And please put Iceman next to Maguire. There's nothing wrong with it. I didn't get it.
Yes.
Secondly, United played with 8 men for most of the game. That's just how I felt. Because I don't think Martial was in the game.
Of course.
I don't think Rashford played anywhere.
Yes.
And to be honest, I think Garnacho had one of his worst games for United yesterday.
I don't
Like,
I thought if you are going to take away one player, that would be Scott McTominay rather than Garnacho.
at least McTominay put himself about. At times, I just want effort. Let me tell you, when everything is bad, at the very least, run. Like, just run hard. It was Les Ferdinand who said, you have to run, you have to work hard. At the very least. But United's front 3 yesterday
Non-existent.
may it as well not have played.
And Martial has been
Yes.
there 9 years.
I had some weird start. Like, he hasn't finished a 90 minutes in a game in
Yes,
3
yes.
years.
3 years.
What the...
Yes.
But still at United.
Yo!
And he scored only 17
look
goals.
at his
in-
goal tally.
17 goals.
No, it's okay.
8 years.
Let's assume, let's like I said, when everything else is not working, please just run. Just
Effort.
work hard. Just finish 90 minutes. 3 years without finishing 90 minutes. 3. Like last time he finished 90 years or 90 minutes was the height of COVID.
COVID, yeah.
And COVID was in 2020.
Yeah.
I just didn't understand the selection. I didn't get it. I thought Luke Shaw looked ill at ease at centre back. He didn't look the way he normally looks. I think when you have someone who can move around it, he looked uncomfortable a bit. He didn't look comfortable. Wan-Bissaka was exposed the whole game. Yesterday, Wan-Bissaka alikimbia.
Yes.
But I think also because it was being left 2-on-1.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Rashford
yeah.
was.
Because
And Rashford-
Livramento
High,
was
yeah.
coming.
Yes, and
Rashford
Fabian
was
Schär
not
too.
tracking
I think
back.
this game was won by the fullbacks of Newcastle.
Of course, yes, it was.
Livramento and Trippier.
Yeah, I know. I think the game was won by the team, first of all, that was fitter. The team that ran harder. The team that seemed to move. And then now we add before we add the technical, it is just who's hungrier, who has more intensity, who's fitter, who's overlapping more, and who's just sitting. Because Martial and Rashford.
Yeah, they were working.
Yeah.
And I don't
And for me also, I thought it was a surprise that given that Anthony had one of his most decent games against Galatasaray, that Rashford started ahead of him at the right side.
I think it's because they are trying to put... And I think Rashford is sulking,
Yes.
but he's sulking because he wants to play on the left.
Okay.
And then Garnacho can only play on the left.
Yes, and he's delivering.
And he's doing better than him, so he has to play on the left. So Rashford doesn't want to play on the right, so he doesn't do what he's supposed to do. And it snowballs from there. Anthony was decent versus Galatasaray. I thought Galatasaray was a very odd game because the more United led, the more I felt they are going to concede.
Yeah.
And then Onana now, and you've got to agree. Look, Onana, you guys, you throw stones at me and you said, oh, I don't like a fellow African, I don't know what. Guys, Onana is not United quality. As just said, he cannot deal with the bright lights. He cannot deal with the struggle. He can't. He just can't. It's just... How many mistakes does he make?
Okay, let me ask a question though.
How many mistakes does he make?
Wh-
How many
wh-
does he have to make before we realize he's not it?
Alright, that I agree with you, and no one had precedented that that's going to happen, that you're going to see him dropping balls. That
Hey,
we didn't have
because-
any evidence of. We didn't have any
There was
evidence that he was going to drop balls. But the question I'm asking is, what evidence did you have that he's not for the bright lights?
I just don't think. I just have never seen him master that.
In this
You know the
Champions
way.
League
Listen,
campaign.
the way. No matter how I talk, I'm never ever going to talk good English like Bernard Ndong. And it's not a slight at me. It's just the truth.
All right.
Bernard will speak better English than me. It's the same thing. I just thought Onana is just not cut for that very top. I just never saw it. And then his behavior since he joined United hasn't added anything to me to see it. I haven't seen it. He exaggerates everything he does. The whole making noise at Maguire in the friendly. The whole calm down, everyone. It's almost like he's doing it for the gallery. It's almost like he tries too hard to be seen, to be
And
doing
me, for me,
something
the
in a particular
one
way.
I hate the most is doing interviews after the game to explain why the team lost. You remember he called for CBS. I think it was in the
When he wanted to
Yeah,
come
he
out
wanted to
himself.
come out
After
himself.
Bayern Munich.
Yes.
That's
Why do you
after
do that?
Bayern Munich, right?
If you know you made a mistake,
Yes.
next game improve
Do
on
something.
that.
And he
You
did.
and you move on.
And he did.
Because
He
in the
did.
Champions
Only
League
that
game-
He
What
did
has
improve
he
for
done?
a stretch.
And
He
then
did improve for a stretch.
and then
And then it's come back. So I'm saying that we didn't precedent that this situation is gonna happen for
but
him.
Sammy, I told you from day one.
Dropping balls.
From day one, I told you. The mere fact that when he was leaving Ajax, and he all the way to the last 6 months of his contract, there was not anyone who was fighting
wanted
to
to
get
sign
him.
him.
Of course, he was coming from the ban, from
Yes.
the 9-month ban and blah, blah, blah. That for me is the first sign. It's just like ZH. The moment all the other kids were being plucked from Ajax and he was still there, it made me question. What is it these big stars are not seeing? These big teams, why are they leaving him there? Why are they plucking everyone else and leaving him? So that was my logic. But I have just not seen it. I don't think he's composed enough. I think the playing from the back is overrated. I know you guys will tell it's modern football and James, you are very old and teams must play from the... I think it's overrated. I think this thing where everyone plays from the back is overrated. So such that it doesn't matter what the goalkeeper does as long as he's good with his feet. And I'm like,
point.
goal number 1 versus Galatasaray. What is he doing? Goal number 2. What is he doing?
Okay, the second one was
Goal number
inexcusable.
3. What is he doing?
Goal number
You
3.
don't get beaten at your near post. It's a
number 3.
goalkeeping rule.
That was a very ferocious shot.
Listen, you don't get beaten at your near post. It's a rule. It's a goalkeeper's rule. You don't
You
get
protect
beaten as your near post because you can touch. You just don't. If it goes in through there, more often than not, it's your mistake. Now let's go back to last night. What happens to the Trippier free kick?
Okay, he was standing. He was watching it. Watching it.
How different is that from the one at Galatasaray, the first one? So why is the improvement between Wednesday and Saturday? It's the same. No.
No, I didn't see any. I didn't say that the improvement was between Wednesday.
I'm saying
yeah.
where is the lesson learned on Wednesday and Saturday? Same. That's my point. I'm going to say this again, and I said it in May, you didn't like it. I said it in July, you didn't like it. I said it in August, you didn't like it. I'm going to say it again. He's no improvement on the hair. None whatsoever. Because they want people who can play with their feet, but United don't build from the back. When they try to build it from the back like yesterday, what was happening? Ball inje, ball inje,
'cause of
ball
the knee
inje.
press.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pressures too.
So I
Yeah,
just
the
don't
press.
get it. Like, it's bad, man.
Even for
Why?
an expert trying to decipher how Man United play, it's really hard. Today you're playing good football, decent football, not good, decent. Then the next game you're like, what?
But like the Galatasaray one, Teddy, I didn't understand. Like 2-0 up, 2-1. 3-1, comfortable, and United looked so good going forward in that game.
Yeah, they did.
Because there was so much space. And then 3-1.
There was a no more open game than that. Once they
It was-
conceded that game in
Yeah.
this Champions League campaign, I'm telling you, you're like, just give it time.
And now how much of it of this does it now come to the manager?
A lot. A lot in my case, because if at all every one of us can't know the system that you're using. And for me, I base it on Ten Hag when he came through. Of course, he wanted to dominate games. And then that changed, maybe because of the caliber of players that we had, and then it turned to pragmatic football that could turn into counter-attacks.
But do we blame him for the fact that Rashford can't seem to walks around the pitch? Do we blame him for the fact that Black Glove Anthony Martial hasn't finished a game in 3 years? Do we blame him for the fact that they both go walkabout? Do we blame him for the fact that Sancho will not do what he's supposed to do? At what point do you I blame him for Maguire.
All right.
Even the
No.
subs.
To answer your question,
Early enough.
not even
conceded.
on that. If Rashford is not clearly working, then you've got an option from the bench that you're definitely going to use. If it's Facundo Pellistri, just try him. You already know that Rashford is not working this season. Make a change. And at the same time,
I don't think there's much.
at the same time, what you're trying to drive in is sack the players first before you sack the coach. I don't think that works in football.
No,
right?
I am.
It's a combination of both.
I'm trying to find what I'm trying to say, which is really sad. But yeah, United's problems are many, but I think the players have a load to carry. I think the players have just let him down also for some odd reason that you cannot explain. Onana, Rashford,
Think about it.
who's the other
Anthony.
one? Anthony Martial,
Ballon d'Or.
Anthony.
Sancho. Like there's a whole Varane.
Yes.
Because I look, people try to justify why Luke Shaw starts ahead of Maguire. I still cannot figure out how Luke Shaw starts ahead of Varane. I don't care how bad Varane is. Come on. No. So maybe that falls on the
there
coach.
was a bit of an explanation by the coach, of which I understood
Which
it a
is-
bit.
which is?
That Rafael Varane can only start at right centre back, and at this moment in time, Harry Maguire
Is
has
better.
already eclipsed him. So
and Iceman.
so that one is between the left centre back now, because Lindelof can play on both feet.
Yeah, play Iceman.
Yeah, it's either him or Shaw. No, if for
No,
yesterday
how do you get Shaw ahead of Iceman at centre back? Like
Yeah.
square pegs. I agree with you.
and not as if Shaw had a bad game really.
No, put him at left back. He's a lot more effective.
yeah.
He's a square peg in a square hole. At least he will help going forward.
Yes.
So, because you know, United versus Galatasaray,
Yes, we saw
Shaw
it.
was really even. Did he play versus Everton?
Yes, he did.
You can
Going
see
forward.
because he goes up and he helps you, because when he comes, he creates the overload. Blah 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 blah. Those complicated things you guys
Yes.
say.
Yes.
Darlow at left back. I know we are trying very hard to make Darlow play at left back, but
Yeah, he's not it.
Yeah.
But then also, when you talk about putting the load on the players, also I know it's something that I'm reversing on, but when you speak about Onana, you speak about Anthony. These are guys who've been brought by Ten Hag. So he contributed
Preach,
on all
brother.
of this.
Preach, brother.
He contributed on all of this. So before we get to the players, you have got to get to the coach.
Preach, because when I told you that last season, you killed me. When I told you, I find it odd that all players United are signing are from Eredivisie. I told him I think that's a bit complicated.
And that was an easy route for Ten
I
Hag.
think it doesn't make sense. I said
It did make sense.
New Roberto Carlos.
It
I
did
said,
make sense.
New Roberto
It did
Carlos.
make sense.
Anthony, Onana. I don't even. But you,
Butcher.
the butcher. I said you can't.
But it did make sense,
You
right?
can't find players Iowa. Then we even did a comparison of how many players has Pep ever signed that he's coached before, how many has Klopp
Yeah,
ever
we-
signed.
we
We even
had
did
that, we
that.
had
that.
But he convinced. He
No,
told
no,
me, listen,
listen.
you're just being unfair to Ten Hag.
No,
Ten
listen.
Hag has seen
No,
something
listen.
you haven't seen.
No, I also remember the time that you asked questions about Manchester United scouting team, and you cannot deny the fact that Erik Ten Hag was the man who was operating everything in terms of bringing players in. So what would have been the easier choice? Go to where you know your players are. Go and get your Anthony, who's you've watched him over the years. Go and get your Onana, who you've played with an Ajax, and you think he's gonna perform well. So you can't really blame it on Man United didn't have or the coach
Ten
didn't
Hag
or
can't-
coach
Ten
didn't-
Hag just-
couldn't draw
Ten Hag
his
can't
net
figure-
in different
Ten-
areas.
No, Ten Hag.
He needed help. Pep Guardiola, of course, has help. Mikel Arteta has
And
help.
maybe-
Even Klopp has help.
lakini
Something
atu
to
kujua
add
tu
to
ball
us
kidogo
as well,
ile
'cause-
tu ati uache na Anton ndocha kutudanganya kwa 90 million umwache tu hapo
Because last season there was a lot
Or
of
if he was pulling up trees at Ajax.
Last season there was
Where,
a lot
how-
of
which ones?
improvement.
Even look at
Which
the statement
trees?
from Ajax.
At least he
When-
which
contributed.
trees did he pull?
He was scoring double digits in the Eredivisie, right?
The Eredivisie is not the EPL.
He was.
Yeah.
No. We are talking about what he has seen and what he believes he
in
can.
in my village I scored a few goals, but that doesn't mean I'm going to score goals in the nationwide.
But you'll get someone to trust you because you've done it before.
He's a terrible judger of talent. End of story. And the reason he's shown at Ajax is because he doesn't do the signing. Once he's the one who's doing all the signings, and I told you, United cannot be this one team that's getting players from Eredivisie. They only like everyone. How many signings are from the Eredivisie? 4, 5.
Yes, it's a lot. Because even Malasia is from Feyenoord.
This United conversation is over.
Because I wanted to ask something on that as well.
Yes, please.
Now, as we compare, this is his second season,
Yes.
right? What's the difference now between him and Ole, and what Ole was doing probably in his second season as
It
well?
was better.
Ole had better vibe. Love Child was all about vibes. There was a good vibe in the team. Ole was good vibes.
Yeah.
He kept everyone happy. He's happy. Everyone is nice and happy. His problem was signing Ronaldo.
Yeah, but also the difference that I see right now, because Erik ten Hag would easily have been in the same situation as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was when he lost his job. That run of losses, Erik ten Hag has somehow found a way to bring in a win in there, get 5 wins out of the last 6, which you celebrated a lot.
No, we
So
told
yes,
you the
yes.
form table says
table
that
is, yes.
United are the form team in the league.
Yeah, so for Ten Hag, he's tried to instill some belief in the squad, and he's not throwing them in the at the bar. So that at least I can give Ten Hag credit on.